Good morning, folks. I'm going to take a little bit of a walk around the island. It's about mid-morning, so I figured it was a nice cool time of day to take a walk around the island. And we'll show you around the site a little bit. We had a fire last night. Not much left. I burned up most of the wood, but I've got a few sticks remaining. Tools of the trade. The boat. We've had one fishing boat go by this morning. And we've got a tree down blocking the trail, but I can get underneath that. But hopefully that'll be it. So we'll walk down here a little ways, and you can see way out in the distance another houseboat to the north. Nice site. I liked this site when I was here before. So let's go down here and see how the rest of the trail looks. Beautiful morning. I love these quiet mornings. And that yellow is pollen from the pine trees. I don't know if this has changed since I was here or not. I think this tree has been cut. There's a view out to the east. Not sure where the other boaters are coming from. I wanted to show you this tree here because it was down the last time I was here. You can just notice how that split away. Somebody's cut part of it there, but right there you can see the cut. It just broke away from the tree right where that knot was. Kind of interesting. Well, we're up on the kind of a ridge line here, and there's a lowland area there I'm going to check out later with the dinghy, see if we can spot some moose in the evening. And we'll walk out here to the end of there's that fishing boat going there now. Looks like they're turning in, so maybe there's a houseboat back there. There is a boat site to the right there where that boat is. So maybe there's one at that site. I may head out that far later on this evening. We'll walk back and finish our hike around the island. I broke my phone display using the Osmo Mobile 6. Very displeased with that unit. It's not near as usable as this P2 that I'm using right now. We'll go down here a little bit. There's a little cove in here. Back in there. Coming up to the hill here. Different one. Couple of shallow islands there. And that's where we just came from, was over there. Again, you can see the pollen floating on the surface of the water there. It's common this time of the year. All right, do I go down this way? Don't know. Let's go take a look and see. I may have to go back the other way, and if it doesn't allow me to go around this way. There's a little different perspective on these low islands. I saw a beaver coming from that one on the furthest to the right last night, right over towards the island. So we'll see if we can figure out where maybe they've got a home over here someplace. I think I walked along here last time. The water seems to be down some from when I was here the last time. Here's the boat, but I don't see any signs of a beaver hut. It's too shallow here. So I don't know where he was going. Maybe he was going over to pick up something. one tick, 2 ticks. So we maybe need to check when we get back here. Okay, where do I go here? Gotta keep my feet dry. Okay, let's go out here to the rock. A couple of mallards over there, it looks like. Or no, those are mergansers. There's the boat through the brush. But we'll take this route over here instead, because the water seems to be down, so we can walk around the shore and not have to go through the bushes and get more ticks. Back at home sweet home. It's not a long hike, but pleasant. And the dinghy ready to go. Okay, folks, splitting up a little bit of wood. I don't know if I'm going to have a fire here tonight. I had a good one last night. I've got my new splitters there to help split this wood because it's pretty stubborn. It's still pretty wet inside, and to get a good start, I need to really have it on rock, a really good hard surface. If I can get it started and get the wedge in there, then it'll go. Sometimes it'll split. This one looks like it might split. It's about to go through, so I'm going to go over on this root here. Yep. No, got to finish with the wedge, but we've got a nice opening there, so. All right, that's pretty good. I'll maybe split this one more time. Why not? Getting them to balance, you got to find the right surface on the rock here. All right, it's not working. Try the other side. All right, come on here. Not cooperating. There we go. But I have to move the chair because I need to get over here. This axe always wants to climb out of the crack. I don't know. Not sure why, if it's just where I hit. All right, there we go. Got to start. The wedge does a better job because it's got grips on the side. All right, then we'll just set this out in the sun to dry. And if we don't have a fire tonight, we'll use it in another stop. All right, 2 more to go here. Yeah, it wants to climb out of that crack. Let's try the big one there. I don't know, it might close up on me here. See if I can get it in there. Need to get that straightened out a little bit more. I don't think we'll split those again. These are small enough that we don't need to split them too many times. They dry better, that's the only thing. Is if I don't have a fire tonight, why, it may not matter. Well, I didn't get center on that one, so I may have to split that one. Use a root or a stump or something to prevent that axe from going into the rocks. Well, I don't know which is better, but try it one more time here. Still didn't get it centered. But that's all right. But I don't know if I can get that. So we'll try one more time. I didn't get a good center shot on that one. Well, it still didn't get centered, but that's good enough right there. And put these out in the sun. And then we'll decide later on whether we're going to have a fire tonight. I need to go. I was going to do a little moose search tonight and go down into these slough areas and see if I can spot a moose feeding later in the day. Save those slivers. Well, we got enough wood for at least one fire, maybe even two if I don't linger. Just laying out on the rocks there to dry in the sun, that really helps. Not only does it warm the wood up, but a lot of the moisture that's in it is baked out in the sun. These I just bought this year. The only drawback I can see is that they're plastic. I prefer metal, but metal's heavy. But I notice if I hit rock with these or anything hard, it'll crease them. So that's not good. If I can find a metal substitute, I'll probably switch. But these were like 10 bucks. They were pretty cheap. So, okay, I'm heading out for my moose hunt to try to find a moose this evening, and maybe do a little fishing along the way as well. We're going to go over by this shore because there's been a lot of people trying to fish in this area, so we'll see how that goes. We'll go over by this little shallow island here, low-lying island, I should say. Oh, I may have had a strike anyway, or maybe that was the bottom. Should probably check, make sure I don't have weeds. Pull up this line, see what I got. I probably hit the bottom. It's pretty shallow in here, but I want to make sure it's clear of weeds. Yeah, I did get the bottom. Got weeds on it. So maybe what's going on here? That's weird. The brake doesn't seem to be working. The heck with that. Get this weed off here. What happened? I've got a mess. So much for fishing. There ain't gonna be any fishing. All right. Well, it's kind of a quiet evening. We're just sneaking around looking for wildlife. Got a couple of mergansers I could have taken pictures of back there, but we're around this island, and then there's a deep bay that we'll go into to check to see if we can find some moose. I don't know if there's a boat in here or not. There is a boat site, so there could be. I've got my 35 millimeter and intending to shoot if I get a bigger animal to shoot, because I can get close up on that. There's a fishing boat ahead of me there. I better check my chart. Looks okay around this island. Doesn't look like there's a boat in the sight, so. So far, all I've gotten on my rod and reel is weeds, a green mackerel. Yeah, there's a sight, but there's nobody there. I got my mess on my rod straightened away, but I'm not sure if I can catch a fish with it. There's a rock right out in front of that. Oh, Canada goose ahead of me. That's what's making the waves. Series of rocks to go out through between the island and the mainland here. I'm going to try to pick my way through these rocks. It's been a bust in terms of finding wildlife, unfortunately, but not a complete bust. We saw Canada geese, mergansers, a redhead, a bufflehead. So we've seen some critters who just haven't been able to get pictures of anything. Everything is flying away at quite a distance from me, which surprises me. All right, let's see if we can. I think we'll edge towards this other escarpment over here instead of the island. I think there's a better chance of finding deep water there. Slower down here. I already hit bottom once, so I've got to be able to, it's a little dark, so I got to be careful here. But I think I can get through here. Just got to stay close to this over here, I think. And watch the bottom. It actually looks fairly deep. No shallow spots that I can see. Well, do I want to go back along the south side of the island or the north side? Well, we'll get around here and take a look. I think maybe the south side, just for the hang of it. So we're heading back home. I figured there was a reasonable chance of seeing a moose down there, but there might be just too much boating traffic around here, and they can hear that. So they may have just said, find another place to go down to get a drink of water or something to eat. Well, I'm going to attempt to go through between this shallow or low-lying island, I should say, and the main island that the boat's on, assuming that I can get through here. We'll keep the speed up a little bit until we get up here, and then it'll be eyeball only, because kind of go where the weeds aren't. There's a rock there, it looks like. There's another rock there. See if I can get a push through just a couple of revs. Pretty shallow. Should have gone around. Okay, I think I made it. A little more drifting here. Got it through there, okay. Nip and tuck though, pretty tight. Places there was probably 6 inches deep, so definitely would have hit the motor. So, all right, we're coming home. A little disappointing that we didn't see anything, but you know, you can't always have get what you want. The highlight of the trip has been the lynx, so, and I fortunately got video of that. I mean, that's very, very unusual to get video like that. I still don't understand why that lynx was so docile. It almost acted like it was sick. All right, home sweet home. Here's the boat. I think I'll save the wood for another night. It's already late, so could have a fire, but I think we'll pass tonight. Sneak in here on the side, and I got a mess on the rod again. I swear I'm just not a fisherman, I guess. Can't believe I messed up that rod again. All right. Home sweet home, there you go. Tie this up.